You know what's funny about New York City, Leo? Most learners memorize words like convenience store, front steps, busy city, and then they get there and nobody understands them. Or worse, everyone knows they're a tourist in 3 seconds flat.
Wait, really? I mean, I've always said convenience store. Is that wrong?
It's not wrong, but in New York, nobody says it. And that's the thing, New York City has its own vocabulary. It's fast, it's direct, and it's unstoppable, just like the city itself. Today, we're going to decode 3 words that will make you sound like you've lived in New York for years, not just visited for a weekend.
I love this. So it's like a secret language for sounding local?
Exactly. And here's the best part. These 3 words aren't just vocabulary. They're windows into New York culture. Learning them helps you understand how New Yorkers think, how they live, and how they connect with each other.
All right, I'm ready. Hit me with number 1.
Number 1, bodega, bodega.
Bodega. Isn't that like a wine cellar in Spanish?
Great catch, Leo. Originally, yes, in Spanish, bodega means a wine cellar or warehouse. But in New York City, the meaning has completely changed. A bodega is a small corner store. You know, the kind that sells everything from breakfast sandwiches to phone chargers to lottery tickets at 3 in the morning.
Oh, so it's a convenience store.
Similar idea, different word. And if you walk into a bodega in New York and say convenience store, people will know exactly what you mean, but they'll also know you're not from around here. Bodega is the word that New Yorkers actually use.
So why bodega? Why not just call it a corner store?
History. New York City has a huge Puerto Rican and Dominican community. In the mid-20th century, immigrants from these communities opened these small shops. They called them bodegas, and the name stuck. Now it's part of New York identity. There are over 15,000 bodegas in New York City. That's more than the number of Starbucks and McDonald's combined.
15,000? That's incredible. So when I'm in New York and I need a bottle of water or a bag of chips, I say I'm going to the bodega?
Yes. Let me give you a real example. Imagine you're staying at a friend's apartment in Brooklyn. You wake up hungry. Your friend says, "There's a bodega on the corner. Grab me a bacon, egg, and cheese on a roll."
Wait, bacon, egg, and cheese on a roll? That's a whole separate lesson.
It is. And the bodega is where you get it. That sandwich is basically a New York institution. Here's another example. You're walking down the street and you see a sign, "Bodega open 24 hours." Inside, there's everything. Drinks, snacks, household items, maybe a deli counter in the back.
Okay, so if I use bodega, I'll sound like a local. What about learners from different backgrounds? Any common mistakes?
Great question. Spanish speakers sometimes think a bodega is specifically a wine store because in Spain and parts of Latin America, that's what it means. So they might say, "Let me go to the bodega for a bottle of wine," and a New Yorker would think they mean a corner store that also sells wine, which is possible but not guaranteed. Chinese speakers sometimes translate directly and say corner convenience store, which is technically accurate, but it's too many words. New Yorkers are direct. Just say bodega.
So bodega, one word, and you sound like a local.
Exactly. Now, number 2, stoop. Stay S-S-T-O-O-P.
Stoop. That sounds like to bend down?
With 2 O's. Yes, stoop as a verb means to bend your body forward and downward. But in New York, stoop is a noun. It means the set of stairs leading up to the front door of a brownstone or apartment building.
The front steps?
Yes, but New Yorkers don't call them front steps. They call them the stoop. And the stoop is more than just stairs. It's a social space. In warm weather, New Yorkers sit on their stoops. They drink coffee, they read books, they talk to neighbors, they watch the world go by.
So it's like an outdoor living room?
That's exactly right. Imagine this. It's a summer evening in Brooklyn. You're walking down a tree-lined street. Families are sitting on their stoops, kids are playing on the sidewalk, someone's playing music from a speaker. You walk past and you hear, "Hey, come sit on the stoop for a minute."
That sounds so welcoming.
It is, and that's the culture behind the word. The stoop is where community happens in New York. It's where you catch up with neighbors, where kids hang out after school, where you eat a slice of pizza on a hot day.
I've seen this in movies, but never knew there was a specific word for it.
Now you know. And if you're talking to a New Yorker and they say, "We were hanging out on the stoop," you'll know exactly what they mean. Another example, my roommate and I sat on the stoop and watched the sunset.
So if someone asks me, "Where are you?" I could say, "I'm on the stoop."
Perfect. Now, here's a common mistake. Some learners, especially from cultures where stairs or steps are just stairs or steps, will say, "I was sitting on the front steps." It's correct English, but it doesn't capture the cultural meaning. Stoop carries the idea of community, of relaxing, of being part of the neighborhood.
So it's not just about the physical structure, it's about the experience.
You got it. All right, Leo. Now, here's the part that surprises most people. Number 3.
I'm ready.
The city that never sleeps.
Ah, I know this one. New York, the city that never sleeps. It means everyone is always working, right?
Close. But that's actually a very common misunderstanding. The city that never sleeps doesn't mean New Yorkers don't sleep. It means the city itself is always active, always alive, always full of energy at any hour of the day or night.
So it's more positive than I thought.
Much more positive. The phrase captures the energy, the excitement, the fact that you can get a bagel at 3 a.m., or take the subway at 4 a.m., or find a jazz club still playing music at 5 a.m. The city has a vibrant, unstoppable pulse.
So when someone says, "I love New York," it's the city that never sleeps. They're saying, "I love how alive this place is."
Exactly, and this is a very important distinction for learners. If you say New Yorkers never sleep, that sounds like a complaint, like everyone is tired and overworked, but the city that never sleeps is a celebration. Imagine a tourist from Spain visiting New York. They might say, "This city never sleeps. I bought pizza at 2 a.m. and the streets were full of people." That's the feeling.
What about learners from China? How do they usually say this?
Chinese learners often translate directly from their own concept of buyechen, which literally means city that doesn't have night. In Chinese, this is a very poetic, positive description of a city with a lively nightlife. So the good news is, the feeling is the same, but some Chinese learners make the mistake of saying New York doesn't have night, which sounds strange in English. Use the exact phrase, the city that never sleeps.
So not New York is always awake. Not New York doesn't sleep, but the city that never sleeps.
That's the ticket. Now, let's put all 3 together. Can you create a sentence using bodega, stoop, and the city that never sleeps?
Oh, this is gonna be fun. Let me think. After grabbing a coffee from the bodega, I sat on the stoop and watched the city that never sleeps go by.
Leo, that's excellent. Seriously, that's a perfect sentence. Native speakers would say that.
Really? I was nervous.
No, that was natural. You used all 3 words correctly, and the sentence sounds like something someone would actually say in New York.
Okay, so I have bodega down, I have stoop down, and I understand the city that never sleeps. But Maya, I have to ask, why does this matter? I mean, couldn't I just say corner store, front steps, and busy city and still be understood?
You could, and you would be understood, but here's why it matters. When you use local words, you signal that you understand the culture. You're not just translating from your native language, you're speaking the way people actually talk. And in New York, being able to keep up with the pace and the vocabulary is a sign of respect. It says, "I took the time to learn who you are."
It's actually really powerful.
It is. And let's be honest, it also makes you feel good. When a New Yorker hears you say bodega or stoop, they'll probably smile and say, "Oh, you know the real New York." That's a great feeling.
So I'm gonna practice. Bodega, the corner store. Stoop, the steps where community happens. The city that never sleeps, the energy and life of New York.
Perfect summary. And here's one more tip for remembering these words. Next time you watch a movie set in New York, like When Harry Met Sally or Do the Right Thing, or even Spider-Man, listen for these words. They show up all the time.
I'm gonna do that. But first, let me try one more sentence. My friend lives in Brooklyn, so every morning I walk to the bodega for coffee, then we sit on the stoop and plan our day in the city that never sleeps.
Leo, I think you're ready to move to New York.
Haha, I'll start packing.
All right, everyone, here's your challenge for today. In the comments below, write your own sentence using bodega, stoop, and the city that never sleeps. Or just one of them, whatever feels comfortable. I'll read the best ones on a future episode.
And if you want to sound more natural in real situations, not just in New York but anywhere, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We release new episodes every day.
That's right, and remember, real English isn't about perfect grammar. It's about the words that connect you to real people. Today we learned 3 words that connect you to New Yorkers. What's the word that connects you to your city? Think about it.
Thanks for listening, everyone. See you next time.
Bye for now.